Good morning. On November 21, 2025, Zacke will hold its inaugural auction of ancient art and antiquities. And we have this beautiful catalog here, which we have a few copies left, so you can order one via our email address on our website. This is about lot number 10 in the catalog, and this is an exceptional statue right here, which has exceptional provenance and exceptional history. We'll talk about that. It's an inscribed, with hieroglyphs, bust of the priest AMUN PA-KHAR-KHONSU. Yeah? And Khonsu was, according to the dorsal inscription, which is here on the backside, a representative, a prophet actually, of Uaset the Victorious. Of course, this is early Ptolemaic period, 300 to 200 BC, and he's a representative of Thebes, the famous ancient city of Thebes. That is interesting because the cult of Uaset goes back to the 13th dynasty when Thutmosis, King Thutmosis, the famous Thutmosis, had an expedition, a very successful warfare expedition into the Levante. To commemorate that, he raised this big statue of Uaset, the victorious lady, so that people could celebrate and commemorate these great victories. And her cult was then, of course, went on, and she became the actual emblem of the ancient city of Thebes. He, the priest Khonsu, was a prophet of Uaset, and that we know because of the inscription on the backside, because this inscription has been analyzed and studied and even completed actually by Simone Musso. What he did is actually he made a drawing of what the complete statue once probably has looked like, and also completed the small missing part of the full hieroglyphic inscription on the backside, which is very important. It mentions the Saite formula, a shortened version of it. That's one thing. And then all the titles of PA-KHAR-KHONSU, I will not give them all to you. They're listed in our catalog. Essentially, he was the prophet of Uaset. That's the key thing, because that is an extremely rare title to be, and an important high-level title to be the prophet of the Lady of Strength. And then also the prophet of Amun in Karnak, which is another highly important title, but that is not so rare as the Uaset title. Yeah. So this was him, a figure, a priest, very close to the pharaoh, the inner circle of the pharaoh. It compares very well in literature. There is a number of full-size statues that are very similar, both when it comes to the dorsal inscription as well as the depiction, that are in numerous museums all over the world. The provenance of the piece is also interesting. By the way, there is a scientific dossier with the transcription of the hieroglyphs from Simone Musso, and you can order that also via our office. It's a large PDF document, which also has the drawings he made. The provenance is Fayez Barakat, who sold it in 2009 at Pierre Berger in France for the equivalent of roughly 340,000 euros. 259,000 actually, plus inflation, makes it around 340 today. It's almost 20 years ago. And it went to Sheikh Al-Thani, the late Sheikh Al-Thani, who passed away in 2014. And from him, it went then, of course, in the Al-Thani Foundation, who was the last owner of this piece. It also has their inventory number on the backside. Of course, pieces like that typically sell in a price range, comparable pieces of similar size, at a price range at 300,000 and more. This one here sold for 245,000 US in 2015, which is roughly 300K today. It's a bit smaller than this one, but the modeling is quite similar. And then here there is a fragment of it. It's just a torso, which sold for 160,000 in 2020. And then very recent auction comparison from Christie's in New York just a week ago. A small piece which has no hieroglyphic inscriptions and much, much smaller. This is apparently about this size, yeah, compared to this one. Sold for 81,000 euros. Yeah, so you can imagine what this is worth. And we put it at 40 to 80, which I think, given the previous result at 340,000, is quite reasonable. There's no reserve, so it will sell. I think the key thing mentioned, we have the original invoice, of course, from Pierre Berger to Chic Altani. So this is another thing that's important to note. It's not just, it's also listed still, of course, with the sale result on the Pierre Berger website. So that provenance is very, very clear. That was a sale at the time of a significant part of Egyptian art from the Fayez Barakat collection. That provenance is also certified and confirmed. Yes, I think it's an exceptional piece. You can see it here. There's one more thing I like to mention, that is what is really rare about this one also, is that most of these figures, when you find them, they have the shaved head, bald head, of course, shaved head, and or they have the wig. And then in most cases, it's a bag wig, yeah, not a wide wig like this one here. So that's also a rare aspect, which probably refers to the importance of the figure. I think that's it. If you can win it, I wish you good luck, and I hope to see you at the auction.